Hi class, I wanted to do a quick lesson to recap everything we've learned about telling time so far. I made this poster to help us remember the parts of the clock and the important steps in telling time. All about time. This is an example of an analog clock, a watch. It has numbers around a circle from 1 through 12. It has a shorthand to represent the hour and a longhand to represent the minutes. This is a digital clock. It shows the hour that it is with a colon to separate the minutes. In an analog clock, the shorthand is the hour hand. The longhand is the minute hand. There are 60 minutes in 1 hour. On a digital clock, o'clock is represented by a colon and 2 zeros. On an analog clock, o'clock is represented by the longhand pointing directly at the 12. Half past the hour is represented by a colon and the number 30. Or in an analog clock, it is represented by the longhand pointing to the 6, and it means 30 minutes past the hour. The hour hand is between two numbers when it is the half hour. So we're going to practice telling time with these reminders. Now for some examples. This is how you would write the time, 2 o'clock in words. This is how it would look in digital form. On an analog clock, you would use the shorthand to point to the 2 and the longhand to point to the 12 to show 2 o'clock. This is how you would write the time 2:30 in words. This is how you would show it on a digital clock. 2:30. On an analog clock, you would still have your shorthand pointing to the 2, your hour hand, but then the minute hand is going to travel halfway around the circle 30 minutes later. And when the minute hand would now point to the 6. Notice the hour hand now appears to be between the 2 and 3. Now let's try a little bit of a trickier one. This is how you would write the time 2:36 in words and how it is represented in digital form. You'll start at 2 o'clock. You'll go around to the 30 just like we did for 2:30. Then you'll do a hill jump to the 35 and a rock jump to the 36. This now says 2:36. How about this one? This time reads 6:30. This is how you represent it in digital form. And on the analog clock, the shorthand is pointing at the 6 and the longhand is pointing at the 12. Now you're going to keep the shorthand, your hour hand, on the 6. And you're going to take your minute hand and travel around the circle to the 6. Now you can see the hour hand is now between the 6 and the 7, and the minute hand is directly on the 6. This reads 6:30. Let's try 6:48. This is how it is represented in digital form. And on the analog clock, you're going to put your hour hand on the 6 still. This time it's going to travel around doing those hill jumps all the way past the 30 up to the 45, which is represented by the 9. And then we're going to do little rock jumps from 45 until we get to 48. 45, 46, 47, 48. Now you can see that our hand is getting very close to the 7. It's almost 7 o'clock, but not quite. It is 6:48. The minute hand is exactly on the 48 tick mark, which is just in between the 45 and 50. Okay, let's review some word problems with time. Now these deal with elapsed time, the time between when something started and when something ended. This example is recess times. This school starts recess at 11:12. Recess ends for the school at 11:44. Those are some odd recess times and a pretty long recess. Let's find out how long this recess is. I'm going to start by doing some hill jumps, counting by tens. 10 more minutes past 11:12 would be 11:22 because 12 plus 10 is 22. 10 more minutes later would be 11:32. 10 more minutes after that would be 11:42. Now you can tell we are very close to 11:44. We now need to do a couple rock jumps. We're going to do 1 minute jumps to get to 11:43 and then 11:44. So I did 3 mountain jumps, 3 hill jumps, 10 minutes each, and then 2 rock jumps, 1 minute each. 10 plus 10 plus 10 is 30, plus 2 more is 32. Their recess is 32 minutes long. Wow. Let me show you that on a clock. So, starting at 11 o'clock, to get to 11:22, to get to 11:12. So, starting at 11:12 on my clock, I'm going to do those same hill jumps in increments of 10. So 10 more minutes past 11:12 would be 11:22. 10 more minutes after that would be 11:32. 10 more minutes after that would be 11:42. And then we do 1, 2 rock jumps to get to 11:44. Here is another example to solve a similar problem. This word problem says the assembly started at 3:02. It ended at 3:58. How long was the assembly? Because the hours are the same in both the start and the end time, I can ignore those for a second and just look at the minutes. I can subtract the bigger number, 58, from the smaller number, 2, to find out how many minutes passed between 3:02 and 3:58. 58 minus 2 is 56. The assembly was 56 minutes long. All right. So tomorrow is our next Zoom meeting. I will see you all at 11 o'clock. We'll be reviewing some more time skills. We will be going over this elapsed time page out of your workbook, and I'll be here to answer any questions about the work packet that's been sent home. I hope you guys are having a great day and enjoying the sunshine while getting some schoolwork done too. See you tomorrow. Bye.